guess what? We're back again for episode 57 of the Armstrong Street Team Power Hour. My name is Greg Roden, and our hosts, Rick Guerrera and Larry Ward. And we want to welcome guest Jody Shawley, and we will get
Yay!
a little round of applause here. I said it. I didn't screw the name up.
Before we got on air,
let me tell you this. I'll screw it up later. So let's get to this right now. We've got, we'll get to Jody in a minute. I want to get some clerical work done here. What's been going on? I wanted to say that this last weekend we had the IX Center Piston Power Show.
Yes, we did.
Rick and I went up there. Larry was not feeling too well, so
no.
Yeah, no. So we went up there and look forward to that show. I just got done. I just want to tell you, I just got done editing it. So I actually was ahead of the game here, and it turned out really good. So it's something to look forward to in about 2 weeks.
I think we got some good interviews there, didn't we?
Yeah, and we got. Again, we had an interview from the same person as last year, but with a different car. And you'll have to watch the episode to see what it's. Yeah. There's some.
Yeah, that's always fun going up there, being around all the car guys. And that day we went was Friday, and there wasn't a lot of people there, so it was pretty comfortable walking around there. So
yeah,
we did pretty good.
And again, we saw a few rides from last time. And they moved the show around. It was nice. It was spread out nicely. And if you haven't gone up to the Cleveland IX Piston Power show, Steve Legursky, we've had him on this podcast before.
We couldn't find him this year, so
no, he was running around. We just we didn't want to bother, but that's a heck of a show to go see. So you've got to go up. Plan on it next year. Take a look at the Armstrong Street Scene. Even check out last year's Armstrong Street Scene IX Center Piston Power Show and check it out. The other thing I want to touch on. I just lost my light, but that's okay. Keep in mind the Armstrong Street Scene Car and Custom Bike Show, July 23rd. I'm working on that right now, and we're getting it organized. And if you haven't checked out our Facebook page, I posted what the trophies were. Larry, did you see what the Grand Champion trophies are? If you're on Facebook, have you seen that? Rick actually saw them in person.
What's Facebook?
I don't know. Our Facebook page, check them out. What the trophies are.
They're super, I'll tell you. What nice trophies.
Youngstown.
Let's mention Youngstown, Adam.
Yeah, Adam Pratt from Youngstown Cycle and Speed they went over the top this year for us. So we've got actually tables, handcrafted tables, with the LED lights and that for our two Grand Champion awards. We got 20 other trophies.
Yeah, he went all out on those.
Oh,
but the only problem is with the motorcycle one. How's he going to get it home?
No, I'm gonna offer to. They can pick it up later. We'll take it back for them, but they can pick it up later at the office here. The last thing I want to touch on. Had a meeting. I'm not going to let any cats out of the bag yet, but we are going to hopefully be working with a company and have a special surprise for everybody.
Yes, very good.
This is going to be big.
Now, does that include new hosts?
Well, it'll be. Yeah, please get rid of me. I wasn't meant to do this. Larry hosted the show for the Two Wheel Power Hour for how many years? 21.
Yes.
And Rick's had his hosting, and I'm just kind of here. So the first one to go would be me. But
you keep me in order. You keep me in line, Greg.
No, I don't.
He tries. Hey, Jody, he makes me look good. He tries to make me look good on the air. He tries.
Huh? Yes. I see you guys have a lot of fun.
Yeah, we try to.
Well, let me tell you, just to put it, we'll have an announcement out hopefully soon. We're going to have some really special stuff going on with this company, and I hope we've talked with them today. There's going to be a lot changing, and it's going to be really worth your while. So keep an eye on that. Larry, what have you got been going on other than being sick?
Oh yeah, I'll tell you what. Anyways,
what happened, Larry? What was the matter?
Well, you know what? I have this. It's some kind of heartburn thing, and usually it's under control. But every once in a while, I'll eat something that I don't know, And when it flares up, I mean, I'll be sick for 3 or 4 days, literally. I mean,
Uh-huh.
sick bad. I mean, just bad. Anyways, I just deal with it. But here's the good news. Coming up right now, I'm doing my portion live from Newcastle Harley Davidson, where, of course, Jody and her husband get their maintenance done and stuff like that. But we're also what we'd like to call the Pan American headquarters for the new adventure touring motorcycle from Harley Davidson. So we've got about 7 or 8 of them in different colors and in different designs. Some have soft bags, some have hard bags, some have no bags, some have adaptive ride height. How about that? A guy 5'8" can be on a big motorcycle. Mm-hmm. When you turn it on, it automatically lowers, and I can almost be flat-footed. Do you believe that?
Wow, that's neat.
Yeah, and then when you start to roll, the thing raises right up. Nice. And of course, we've got awful lot of 23s in stock right now and one of the finest selections of pre-owned motorcycles. I mean, we've got some bikes. How about a 2016 Street Glide Special? Not to throw a promo, but how about it's only got 300 miles?
You've already been doing that, Larry. You've already been promoing it.
All right, let's talk about Dave and Ed's Super Swap Meets coming up in April. April 28th through April 30th is the first of 4 swap meets this year. And
what was the date on that again?
April 28th through the 30th at the Campfield Fairgrounds. Okay. Same low price, $7 or $8 to get in. And I'll tell you what, it's just fantastic. I mean, Corey gives me a golf cart and I just spend hours and hours and hours there just marveling at all the stuff. And sometimes you see a bunch of stuff that not only could you use, but you remember it from your childhood. It's pretty cool, And so, there's Summit is one of the sponsors along with, I forgot I think they call it the #1 Cochran Chevrolet.
Yep.
Which
used to be Sweeney. Used to be Sweeney.
And anyways, so that's coming up and it should be good. Bike nights will be starting up in May.
Everything's starting up, boy.
Yeah. Yeah. And then I think Quaker Steak and Lube, they're going to start up probably sometime in April, their Sunday night cruises and get-togethers. So, we're looking for nothing but really good. Weather has really changed now for the good, although we're going to have some rain today. But I mean, we're in the high 60s, 70s right now for the next several weeks. So I think we've broken that, and we're now on to yeah. And I've got a couple of events coming up. I'll share maybe on the next show. So I think it'd be a lot of fun.
Hey, when you go to the swap meet, make sure you look for that mug over there, Greg Road.
Yeah, you know what?
Some of his junk.
Yeah, make sure I had texted Corey, and he actually fit me in at the last second, which thank you, Corey, because I have so much crap to sell. I've got probably 25, 30 years of junk that have piled up. So, it'll be a truck.
One man's junk is another man's treasure. So.
Yeah, well, it's my junk now. So everybody can have that treasure back. I don't want it anymore. I want it to get
how many?
So it'd be dirt cheap.
Hey, Larry, how many vendors do they have there,
You know what? Honestly, I don't know. But what I do know, how big the Campfield Fair grounds are?
Yes.
Every vendor space is sold. He created
it's sold
out.
Wow. Yeah. That's amazing.
I know.
We got to get we should get Corey on pretty soon here, again, before the swap.
I tried to get him on today. I told him yesterday, Greg offered to have him come on, but he is just busy. He was out there repainting the lines. Everything has to be painted out there. And they won't let him use permanent paint, so it eventually wears off.
Yeah, we heard that. So hey, Jody, Corey is Larry's son.
Oh, okay.
He's a real big entrepreneur and runs this big swap meet. He does a lot of everything. Yeah.
Wow. He does the swap meets. Then at the Southern Park Mall, he has the Ribs and Rock Festival.
Oh,
and then goodness. Coming up in April is going to be the second big toy show. And Corey also
that's a toy show, yeah.
Yeah, Corey also purchased a thing called the Comic-Con and is bringing it to Youngstown.
I've heard of that.
Comic-Con's like all those superheroes and all that.
Comics,
it'll be big because the toy show in November sold out, and then he just had another one not too long ago. It sold out. and now he's having another toy show. But I'll let you guys know when that Comic-Con is coming.
Sure,
That's
that
supposed to
would
be
be
a big
neat to
deal.
see.
You refer to Larry as that. Hey, that's Corey's dad. That's
Yes.
what
Yeah.
everybody knows
That's
Larry
right.
as.
That's how
So,
everybody knows Larry. Even
Yeah.
though Larry was on the air for what, 21 or 22 years.
Yeah,
Corey's dad.
but you know
Well,
what?
it says
He's
Corey's
pretty
iPad.
successful.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Yeah, that's right. It is.
You should
Corey's
change it to
iPad.
Corey's dad. Just on the iPad.
Yeah.
Well, Rick, you got anything to fill us in on before we get to talking with
Nope.
Jody a little bit about her travels?
We're fine. We're fine. What's Jody's last name again?
Sweeney?
You can do it.
I
You can do it, Greg.
no.
You got put on the spot, buddy, right away.
Shawley, thank you.
Yeah,
Thank God I have my notes in front of
He
me.
must have wrote it down somewhere.
Yes, I did, because I can't remember a dang thing anymore.
I know.
All right, Larry, take it away.
Wow, that was a big
yawning
yawn.
and getting bored.
I know. Well, I'd like to welcome to the Armstrong Street Scene Power Hour a young lady that I met and totally impressed me with her riding, and that is Jody Shawley. She is better known as a Spider Rider. She has a YouTube channel, and I got to meet her because her and her husband stopped in for some service, and we started talking, and then she gave me these little stickers. So, Jody, why don't you tell our listeners a little bit about yourself, what you've done? She totally impressed me with the mileage that she's put on a Spider. A Spider has two wheels in the front, one in the back. So it's like it's a three-wheeler, but it's a different three-wheeler than, say, a Harley Davidson Tri-Glide that has one wheel in the front, two in the back. The Spiders are top end. They have independent suspension. They handle like a dream. And she has, if you've noticed, Jody is the queen of purple. The queen of purple. So she'll explain how she got that. And
She probably loves Prince.
Yeah.
What's that?
You probably love Prince. Remember
Purple
Prince?
Rain.
Oh, yes. I remember
Yeah.
Prince. Purple Rain.
Haze.
He was
Yeah.
all
Yeah.
purple, yeah.
Well, Jody, why don't you take it away? Our listeners are going to love to hear about your story about how you got started, how you got into the purple craze, your YouTube channel, and especially, the Spider that you ride and how many miles you've been able to put on that.
Okay, that's a lot of things to talk about. Where to start? So I don't know. I didn't always ride three wheels. I used to ride two wheels. A lot of Spider riders have ridden no wheels, or they've not ridden any kind of motorcycle. So it's easy to learn to ride one. I will say that. They're very, very stable. You cannot tip one of those. You can tip. Oh, hey, that's me.
We're going to throw some pictures up on YouTube.
Okay.
If you're watching this on YouTube, Jody did send
That long blonde hair.
Yes, that was pre-purple. That was my pre-purple days, and that was a long, long time ago. So that's my Kawasaki 454 LTD. So basically, we got married, hubby and I, back in '86, and I would ride two up with him on his Yamaha Phaser. That lasted about 6 months, and I said, I'd like to go get my own bike and my own license. So I took the MSF course in '87.
Good.
And got my endorsement. We each rode our own. We had Kawasaki's and Hondas for about 12 years. And then we started our family, and I said, I'm not riding anymore. It's just too dangerous. I'm not going to do that. So gave it up for 20 years. He did too. When he retired, he got his Harley. And he was concerned about me being on two wheels, and I'm like, because I'm older, and I'm like, well, you're older too, but
it's a one-way street, isn't it? How's that
work?
Yeah. We don't like to talk about age on this show.
Okay, let's just pass that. But a friend let me ride her Spider, and I'm like, wow, this is fun. So I waited about a year, found a good deal on a used one. It was basically brand new. It had 3,600 miles on it, and it was a year old. I now have about 54,000 miles on it.
Wow.
Last year we rode 26,500 miles.
26,000 miles.
Yep.
Where do you get these gals at? They make me feel so wimpy. So wimpy.
That's the I've ridden the back of the dragon and the tail of the dragon. That picture that I'm sharing there is back of the Dragon. Yeah.
Okay.
Mhm.
And so the big joke is that's my husband in front. And he's like, every picture I had, there was this spider creeping up behind me.
Yeah.
Because
Jody, is that a Can-Am? Is that
it's a
what they're called?
Can-Am. Yes, a Can-Am.
Can-Am. Uh-huh.
Yep. Made by BRP. They're made in Canada. They have a
Mhm.
1330 Rotax engine.
Can American. Okay.
Yep,
Mhm.
it's a wonderful engine. I don't have to add any oil between oil changes. Not one drop. Not one
Wow.
drop. So anyways, I started riding that, and then my husband has a YouTube channel. He's PSP Tommy G. He doesn't have a lot of videos, but he's like, well, you should do a YouTube channel. He goes, there aren't many female spider riders out there that I know of. So I said, well, purple. My name is Purple on 3. I already had
what is it?
purple hair. Purple on 3 is the name of my channel.
On 3. Okay.
Yeah.
On YouTube.
You spell out the 3. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
So I started that about 2 years ago, and I already had purple hair. I already had purple hair. So I'm like, that would be a pretty cool name, I think. And people call me PO3, purple, whatever. That's my name. But I retired in December of 21. So that's why we rode so many miles last year. You know, we did the bucket list. We rode all of Route 66 from Chicago to Santa Monica. And then we went up the Pacific Coast Highway and came across, we went to, Oregon and Montana and Washington. 42 out of 50 states is what we did last year.
Wow.
So that's my story, basically. Have a lot of fun with the YouTube videos. We have met so many wonderful people.
You got a lot of followers. I'm sure you got quite a few followers just from posting stuff like that. Yeah.
Well, you meet them. Like, I went to my first spider rally last year, and I was shocked when someone came up to me and said, "Hey, you're Purple on 3," and I'm like, "Well, yeah, I am," but I didn't think anyone knew
yes,
that.
I am.
Yes, I am.
You're a celebrity. Yay.
Yeah, right.
Why, yes, I am.
You're famous.
Well, yes, I am.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of nice people that we have met on YouTube. We have made some wonderful, wonderful friends. Seriously.
You know, Jody, that goes worldwide. So you can be celebrity somewhere in Ireland.
I
China
guess.
or somewhere. Yeah.
But you know what?
China.
Well, I don't know about China either, but you watch someone's channel. I watch other moto vloggers' channel, 2 wheels, 3 wheels, adventure bikes, Harleys. It doesn't really matter. When you meet them in person after watching their channel, it's like you already know them. It's really something. We have made wonderful, wonderful friends. Last night we stayed at a friend's house that we met on YouTube.
Oh, you're kidding.
No, and we've let people stay at our house that we've never met before. You could tell, who's going to be all right. Yeah.
Well, let's talk about the transition from 2 to 3 wheels. You know, you rode quite a bit on 2 wheels. Tell us, or tell anybody that would want to know, what's the seat of the pants behind the handlebars feel between riding a motorcycle and then riding a Can-Am?
What is the difference?
Yeah, because there's a difference on cornering. There's a difference.
There is. Well, it did not take me long at all, like a day to adjust to, but I hadn't ridden in 20 years. I hadn't been on 2 wheels, except for I got on my daughter's dirt bike maybe 15 years after I had my wheels, and I was like, oh, I can still feather the clutch. I could still do it. A Spider, the newer ones from, I forget what year, 2014, 15, or 16, don't have a clutch. It's a paddle shifter. So you shift, you just click, 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 6 gears. The brake is a foot brake. So you do have to get used to no brake. There's no hand brake there. It's just one foot brake. On 2 wheels, you're leaning the bike. You can't obviously lean a Spider, but you can lean yourself. You can lean your body into the turns, and there's no counter steering. So it's pretty easy to learn. And my most recent video that I did, it's called First Time Spider Riders. What I did last year was let more than 8, these ones I captured on video, 8 people. Actually, I hadn't met them before I let them. They were all on YouTube. And when we traveled, we'd meet up with them and I'd say, hey, do you want to take it for a ride? Because everyone has an idea that it's like a quad. It handles like a four-wheeler. They don't. Anyways, my latest video shows their reactions when they get off the Spider. They're all shocked about how intuitive the steering is and just how much fun it is.
I have to jump in here real quick. Again, and I'm no motorcycle rider, but I know the difference. Again, I ride quads a lot, but I also own two. Remember the old Honda three-wheeler?
Yes, it's not like that either.
Dumping those things.
Oh
over.
yeah,
They've got to be more stable than that.
Absolutely.
They're a death trap.
Yeah, I remember
those Hondas were. Yeah, my brother-in-law still has his.
Yeah. Oh, really? Oh.
Yeah, he still has them. No, it is nothing. It's nothing like that. Well, because don't they have the two wheels in the back? Those Hondas. Yeah. So
it was just you might as well just roll over and.
Yes. No.
Where's all the power at on those? In the front wheels or the back?
Where's all the power? Well, I think it's the
It
rear.
drives the rear wheel. Yeah.
It's the rear wheel.
The
That's
rear.
right. Okay.
Yeah, it's belt.
That's the drive. Okay.
Yeah.
And it's belt driven.
Belt.
Okay.
Big belt. Yeah.
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 A big belt. Yep. So yeah.
Yeah. There's got to be, how many motorcycles have you owned, since you started riding?
Not that many. I had started out with a little 250 Kawasaki after I got my license. That didn't last long. I've only had 3 other motorcycles.
Oh, okay.
Besides and I never put close to the miles on those that I have put on my Spider.
Yeah. So which one is you found the most difficult? Obviously, it's not the Can-Am that's the most difficult one to ride, but I'm sure you've had one that you've preferred riding over the other.
Yes, and I don't have a picture of it. That picture of me on that Kawasaki 454 was I bought it because it looked cool. It really wasn't a good fit for me.
Yeah.
So one day my husband and I were riding. He had a Honda Magna.
Okay.
And
sure.
I said, can I try that? Do you think I could ride that? And he goes, well, sure. You give it a whirl. And if you're not comfortable, then just pull in here at the church and we'll trade back. Well, I didn't trade back. I rode that thing the whole way home. And I said, this is my bike now.
Do we have any pictures did you send us any pictures of your Spider?
Yes, I did. I think we had a couple up there. There it is there.
Yeah,
So it's very spacious. A Spider has, the Limiteds have 2 side bags. I have a trunk. And then in the front is a storage spot called a frunk because it's a front trunk.
Okay.
You could put a full-size helmet in the
I thought she was going to get close there.
Anything goes on this broadcast.
Yeah.
I gotta say that looks really comfortable.
It is.
Yeah.
It's very comfortable.
Is that Oregon, Pennsylvania?
No, that's Oregon, the state. Is there an Oregon?
Oh my God, Larry.
Is there? Oh, okay. Like I'm not good at geography, so if you said, I'd be like, yeah, okay. Well, it's so comfortable that last year I did my first 1,000-mile iron butt on it, which for those who don't know, an iron butt, there's different levels, but I got certified by the Iron Butt Association. It's 1,000 miles in less than 24 hours. So we did it in about
1,000 miles in less than 24 hours. Is that what you said?
That's what I said.
Oh
yes.
If I'm going to do that, I'm heading out west in New Mexico where you open it up and just keep going.
There you go. Larry knows all about those iron butts. He's done one that's way harder than mine.
Oh yeah, but we're talking about you, so.
Well, okay.
I drove from Pittsburgh. We'll say I'm from Hermitage, Pennsylvania. I drove from there to Meridian, Mississippi, in 2 days, and that's not. I don't think quite cool. 1,000 miles, but that was a good ride.
Nice. I think we were through Meridian last year because the iron butt we started in Springfield, Missouri, and we went to Mississippi, Alabama, Louisiana. So
that's
I remember
different down there, isn't it?
It is. It also was dark
country.
when we were going through, and there were deer. They don't mow the berms in. I think that was Mississippi or Louisiana. I don't remember which.
It's like driving in a tunnel almost. So all you see is this thing going by.
Yeah, yeah.
Let's talk about maintenance costs, because the rear wheel in that is more like I would say like a cart radial tire, and then the fronts are. Why don't you explain the tires on? Because they're not a motorcycle tire for sure.
They're not. They're specifically engineered for the Can-Am Spider. A lot of riders will switch to a car tire because they're not impressed with, it's a Kenda tire made specifically for the Spider. They're not impressed with the wearing of the rear tire. I mean, my friend has to replace his at 6,000 miles. That's crazy.
Oh my God, really? How much do they cost? Really?
Well, I should have brought my slip with me, because yesterday I got 2 new front ones and a new rear one. I want to say around $150. Okay. I have gotten 15,000 miles out of mine, but this last one only made it 11. So, I know, I'm like, shoot, the front tires, they were fine, except they were starting to cup, and they had 28,000 miles on them. So I did replace them. So
I was going to ask if you got a lot more mileage. It seems like the weight was more on the rear, for that. But yeah, I was going to say you probably got a lot more mileage out of the front tires than the rear.
Yeah.
That's extremely interesting that you're saying that the tires cup, because, motorcycles, especially BMWs, because of the curvature of the road and they have a tendency to cup. You got to run a little bit more than the standard air pressure to try and minimize that. But I'm kind of floored that a 3-wheeler, especially a Can-Am, would cup front tires.
Is there an alignment on that? I mean, now I'm sitting there thinking of the car end of it. Is there an alignment on that on a Can-Am?
Yes, they do a laser alignment with a lot of dealers. My dealer does a laser alignment with the tires. Yeah.
A lot more. Seems like there's a lot more moving parts in that than just a regular motorcycle. But
I don't know, because I was never interested in learning a lot about my 2-wheel bikes. I can change the oil on the Spider now. I know how to do that. I learned how to do that with a little help.
Yeah.
With a little help with turning. I don't have the strength sometimes to, loosen some things.
Exactly.
Let's talk about, if you don't mind, I know you're very high on your dealer. Why don't you go ahead and give him a shout out, so that a lot of people that maybe are in the Pennsylvania area might want to look him up and see him there.
Well, you might be surprised to find out that he is 250 miles from me.
Ooh.
Because
that's the closest one, huh?
No.
That's the one you want to go to.
That's the one I want to go to. When I bought the Spider used, a gentleman who works for that dealer, it was his part-time job. This was his personal Spider, and he wanted to upgrade to a new one. So he sold it to me, and we were just impressed with that dealership. And Ryan, it's in Hanover, Pennsylvania. So that's on the other side of the state. Hanover, Pennsylvania.
Potato chips,
it's chips. We go to the factory outlet. We go for service.
I'm trying to think of the brand name. I can't think of the brand name.
Utz or Utz. I'm not sure how you say it.
Utz.
Yep. I eat those all the time.
Yep. Well, next time I go, I'll bring back a load. But
barbecue.
Okay, barbecue. But yeah, Ryan.
I was going to say, geez, Rick, why don't you just put your order in now and start?
Go ahead. That's okay. Ryan, it's Motorsports in Hanover, Pennsylvania, and top notch. I trust him completely. And he tells me, no, he's not putting car tires on the Spider. And I'm like, okay, then I'm not putting car tires on my Spider. And a lot of people will argue about that. And you do you, I'm going to do me. I'm going to keep on putting what was made and engineered for my bike. That's just the way it is.
Yeah, we call that black tire science, because a lot of these guys that have sidecars in the BMW world and some others, because they will wear out the tire quicker than they want to, they will dabble in that car tire. And if you notice, a car tire does not have the rounded profiles like a motorcycle tire would be. It has a much higher load rating, so the sidewalls are going to be an awful lot stiffer. There's a whole bunch of things that say don't do it. But there's some crazy guys and gals out there in the motorcycle world. And I think you said it all. You do you.
I'll do me.
Yep.
Yeah.
And that's the right attitude. Now,
it sounds like a good problem for the tire guy.
Yeah, well, if you want to check out some of our past, you might enjoy this one. As we've had, again, here's the name. You start tearing on me now. I forgot his name.
TJ Tennant.
TJ Tennant. He is an absolute.
That's it. That's it. Yep.
So he's. You forgot too, Rick.
Yeah, I did. On me. But I remember the tire. I remember the tire guy.
Well, yeah, he's a wealth of knowledge. But even for Judy, for the difference in price, there's no really difference in price on that. I was figuring, those rear tires are going to be $400 a piece.
Well, no, the motorcycle tire that rear tire will be a lot more than a car tire, and that's why they like using them, because they're less expensive. They think they're going to get more miles, but I'll tell you. I talked to TJ about
handle well
very same thing, and he said, boy, I have got to tell you on how many levels that is the wrong thing to do. So we'll get him back on, and when we do, remember, that's one of the things we want to talk about is rear wheels on a Can-Am, which is 2 and 1, or a trike, which is 1 and 2, or a 3-wheeler, which is 2 and a side one, on a sidecar. So yeah, definitely. Now when you're taking your Can-Am and you're loading it up for luggage, now is there any difference between how you think, how you load? Is there more luggage space available on the Can-Am than a bike? What's your thought process, especially when you're doing 28,000 or doing an iron butter,
Well, the joke at our house is that Tommy G, that's my husband, likes to see if he can squeeze something into my compartments. And I'm like, you take your own stuff. Actually, I believe it has 6 more gallons of storage space than he has that Harley Ultra Limited. So he's got the side bags. It's a beautiful bike, but I have a little more space than he does. I have also learned, though, to pack less. The more you travel, the more you realize you don't need all that stuff. I mean,
or what you bring can be served dual purpose.
Yes.
Like a pair of convertible pants that unzip and become shorts. You can wear them for swimming, shorts, or riding, or
then there's there you go. There's laundry. I mean, if you stay in a hotel, almost every hotel, 90% have guest laundry now.
Right.
So,
and I never pack more. I don't care if I'm going for 2 weeks. I went to Missouri last year. I took 3 days worth of clothes.
Yeah, that's all you really need.
Because you know what? When I get to that point, then I'll go ahead and go to the laundromat there.
Right.
So yeah, every town, every hotel you stay, everywhere.
It's nice when you're in one climate, like this trip we left, it was cold, so I have a heated jacket. That thing's bulky, and now I have to store it until we get to Florida and I can lose it. But it's nice if it's just going to be warm and you don't have to pack a lot of extra layers, that sort of thing. But yeah,
so you just stay at, there's no camping out for you and your husband.
Well,
okay.
We have decided that perhaps we should dabble in some camping, because in a hotel that can get really expensive.
Sure can. Yeah,
it really can. And we stay with people that are kind enough to let us stay with them too. If they offer, we're like, sure, thank you, and we reciprocate. But we thought it might be a little less expensive, so my husband has been watching. He's the research guy. He's been watching backpacking channels. And so he's found us these sleeping bags that fold up to this, and sleeping mats that are insulated with air and their air. And they also fold up this small. So we have bought some equipment. We're going to give it a whirl because we are heading to Alaska in July. And so we're thinking, well, what if we have to camp? But I think, these mats, like I laid on it, I'm like, this is really comfy. I think I could sleep on the ground in a tent. I can do this. Maybe not every day. I might like to shower every 3 days or something.
Make sure you have an air mattress. Yeah.
I do.
Hard
I do
ground
have,
is.
Yeah. No, he found us these backpacking air mattresses. They're Big Agnes and they're insulated. Sure. I can remember sleeping on air mattresses before the cheap ones, and they're not insulated and it feels
They're all
cold.
deflated by the morning. You're
Yeah.
going, and my back's killing me.
We're going to give it a whirl.
Jody, a little tip that
Okay.
a lot of us that went in the BMW world when I was doing a lot of that and
moto camping,
go to 8 or 9 rallies a year. So all those you're sleeping in a tent and you're on the ground, and sometimes like this coming year I'll be gone for 2 weeks, so I'm going to the BMW rally, and then almost the next day starts the Motorcycle Sport Touring Association, which will be in a hotel, but the BMW thing could be, tenting. And here's one of the things is that sometimes, some of the facilities in the campgrounds maybe aren't as good as you like, but if you spend $20 and get one of those Planet Fitness memberships, they're like Harley Davidson shops. They're like the Dollar General stores. There's one in every town. And I'll tell you what, for $20, you walk right in there, you can take a shower.
What a great idea.
And it's $20 for the whole year.
Oh, that's a wonderful idea.
Yeah. And I'll tell you cannot go into even a truck stop and go into their shower facilities. Costs a lot more,
Really?
So for $20, you can walk in if you want to exercise, use the equipment. But if you just want to go in there, use a hot tub, use the shower facilities, for me, shave up or whatever, and you're nice and clean and you feel good.
Yeah.
Judy, there's the best part about Planet Fitness. What color is their logo?
Yeah.
Purple.
Is it purple?
It's purple,
Yes,
so it's meant to be.
You'll fit right in.
Excuse me, Greg, are you calling me Judy?
See,
did I do that?
Yes, see.
No.
Oh my goodness.
Never fails, Jody.
I
Never
knew
fails.
it. You know what? Here's the deal. I'm going to start having Larry and Rick start introducing people.
Well, the good news is we're taping this, so
you can edit that right out.
Yeah,
I won't, because you know what?
I love when he makes a mistake, Jody. He throws everything in my face.
Oh, does he?
Yeah, he just
Rick.
It's right here. It's right in front of my face. Never mind. Yeah. Well, go ahead, Larry, and everybody start tearing on me because
don't pick
I'm all
on
for
him.
it. Oh my God. Oh man. Here we go.
Anyway, so now tell us all of your plans. I know you're on vacation, and I really want to thank you for taking the time out of your vacation. Your husband's probably enjoying a wonderful dinner right now while you're doing this show. So you get TV dinners or something,
Excuse
get the
me.
one Salisbury steak with tater tots. That's always a good one. But hey, why don't you tell us what your plans are, what big rides, and of course, this Spider is a club internationally. So tell us about the club and some of the events that you're going to be going to throughout the year.
Okay. All right. Well, we're not going to eat TV dinners tonight. We're actually at the home of the owners of Bond Body Armor. Are you familiar with that at all?
Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
They're big time.
Right. Well, I'm on they have that one picture, the back of the dragon picture on their website. It says from the tail to the trail. So that might have been the tail of the dragon.
Well, there's our next guest, right, Larry?
What?
There's our next guest on Street Scene Power Hour, right?
Bond Body Armor.
Yeah.
No.
Oh.
No.
Anyways, they invited us to stay with them, so that's where we're at. So I think we'll have a decent meal. I'm pretty sure. But
you might end up with a lot of new clothes too, so you never know.
Yeah, we wear their Air Text shirts. So in my picture, I have the blue and black, and Tommy has the blue. Or I'm sorry, mine's purple and black. What am I saying? And he has the blue and white one. They are wonderful for hot weather riding. So that's where we're at tonight. So as far as plans, we're going to Florida to visit family and then head to Key West. Then we'll come home beginning of May. And then we're going to ride New England because we rode 42 out of 50 states last year. So we want to pick up New England. We hadn't ridden there at all yet. So we'll do that in June. Oh, we're going to go to Americade. Is that the first weekend in June?
Yeah, that's a whole week.
Lake George. And from there, then we'll ride the rest of New England. Come back, I don't know, a couple weeks or so. It's nice to be retired and not have to come back. We have people that will take care of our farm for us. So that's nice. And then we'll be prepping to go to Alaska, because that's just going to be huge for us. I mean,
well, my co-host for many years, Roy Dykeman, about a week after he retired, he rode his BMW from Canfield, Ohio, and I think he was gone 42 or 45 days, but he went all the way to Prudhoe Bay in the Arctic Circle, about as far as you can go.
Wow.
So, if you wanted any tips, I mean, he studied it. He got books. So if you want any tips on any of that, I could be glad to put you in touch when you get
that
back.
would be wonderful.
Believe me, he'd sit down and talk to you for hours. You have to get rid of him.
That's funny. I don't think we're going to be, I believe that my husband researched the riding up there, that street bikes that we have wouldn't be too good for that.
That Dalton Highway is going to knock the crap.
Right. So
there's plenty of bikes you can rent. There's a couple of services when you get up pretty close there. And I forgot the name of them right now, but they have some of them have KLRs, some of them have Hondas, but you can rent a dual purpose bike.
And so who knows what we'll do. I'm not sure about that. Then in the fall, we'll be attending U.S. Spider Riders, like you said, is international. Well, U.S. Spider Riders is U.S., but there's spider groups all over the world. But they have different events, different rallies. So last year was our first spider rally in Nixa, Missouri. It was called Spiders in the Ozarks.
How many were there,
I don't know. A couple hundred different spiders. I saw some really cool, and people wrap their spiders. They have all these cool things that they do to them. I mean, mine's pretty plain compared to some of the ones that we saw, but it was a lot of fun. Usually I go to rallies sometimes with Thomas, and there aren't a whole lot of three-wheelers there, let alone spiders. So you feel like the odd guy out. And this rally, they didn't discriminate. You could come with two wheels, but there definitely were only a handful of two wheels. So he knows what it feels like now, because he was there on his Harley. And of course they were all teasing him, when are you going to get a spider?
Hey, Larry, give Jody a warning about going down to Key West, what to look out for on that bridge you were talking about before.
Well, there's a long bridge.
The 7 Mile Bridge, or another bridge.
Yes, no, it's 7 Mile Bridge, and two things. It's 35 miles an hour. Don't pass, and boy, you'll get a big ticket if you do. And then there's a thing called Key, Key, key deer. They're very, very small. They're about the size of a dog.
Oh, okay.
And you got to watch out. Don't try not to ride at dusk or early, just before the sun's coming up, because that's when they're most active. And they're real small. And boy, if you hit one of those, you are going to be in big trouble.
What is it?
Okay.
It's a little teeny deer. It's a teeny deer. It's called key deer.
Key deer. Okay. Never heard of them. Okay.
We'll make sure. They're real small. They're only about the size of a small family dog.
Really?
Wow.
Oh yeah, and they're only there. That's all they.
Wow.
That's where they're at. That's where they breed. That's where they stay. And they're very protected, much like a bald eagle. They're very much protected. So I'm sure if you hit one when it was running across the road and you couldn't help it, but you know what? I'll tell you what, you're probably going to be there a couple hours and filling out the paperwork. But you just want to be aware of it. Also, you can pull off on some of those areas. The last time I went, which was several years ago, I was a little disappointed to see some of the signs that would say, please don't park here at dark. They're not secure. There could be vagrants and stuff.
Oh, okay.
But then when you get to Key West, you definitely want to go over to the buoy, which is the closest to Cuba. It's like 90 miles away.
Right.
Then Duval Street is the main street, and there's all kind of crazies. Then there's Sloppy Joe's, which is Hemingway's old hangout.
Yes.
And then there's Trafalgar Square, which if you get there right before sunup, you'll see one of the most amazing. People write about it in novels and books, how the sun comes up over the ocean, and it's just gorgeous.
We were actually there last year. I did ride to Key West last year. That's why I'm going back, because it was fun.
Okay.
But I haven't seen the sunrise there.
Yeah. Do you remember the Southern Cross Hotel right in downtown?
No.
Yeah, it's a fabulous hotel. But the crazy thing is, I was like 100 miles away. And I knew I was going to be running late and it's going to be dark. And then they don't take reservations. You got to show up.
Really?
Now, maybe they changed it, but they didn't. And they wouldn't. I go, I got a credit card. And they go, we don't care what you got. We don't take reservations. That's our policy. Just show up. If we have a room, we'll give it to you. And I'm like, you know, good.
Yeah.
Oh,
Did they have a
no.
room? Did they have a room when you got there? It's a question.
Yeah, did they?
Yes. And you know what happened? So we said, well, okay. So our two rich buddies rented the room because they have a wine cooler thing there. And then out on the veranda, they had these big cushion chase lounges with 6-inch cushions. So I got my sleeping bag and I stayed out there. I skipped out.
It's comfortable.
Yeah.
What's it called? Southern Cross. Sounds like a Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young song.
I was gonna
There
say.
we go.
Yeah.
We won't be staying there.
Yeah.
Yeah. But don't go to Heaven's Gate. It's probably, maybe your husband might want to go, but not
Southern Cross, Heaven's Gate. What else is named like that?
Sounds good.
The only thing Rick remembers the story about the guy that gave me the flower, and then I gave the flower to one of the stormtroopers down there, and she gave me a look and threw it on the ground, and she thought it was a cigarette butt and put it out with her foot, and I'm like, no, happy holiday, you lady. Yeah, I didn't want to get Rodney King down there, so I just said, okay.
Jody, question for you: bucket list places to go. After you get the keys and going to Alaska too.
Yeah,
there's got to be some bucket list items for you.
Well, let's see here. Lake Tahoe has always been on my list. I have got to get there, and I want to get back to more of Colorado because we didn't get to spend enough time in Colorado or Utah. So I want to go back to those states. I would like to go next year to Europe.
Wow.
Because there is a guy there, Martin the Vlogger is his name, and he has spiders and Rikers that he rents in oh my gosh, is it Slovenia or Slovakia? I can't remember. But there's rides there that in the Alps, like they look amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing, some of the rides that he has there. So hopefully would love to do that. Hopefully that happens. But I'm not sure of any other bucket lists, but I think that every state in the United States is beautiful.
Yeah.
Even Kansas or Nebraska.
Yeah.
There are pretty things in.
That's really flat, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
You're going 120 mile an hour, and it's like, I am not going anywhere.
I don't think I've ever been to Kansas.
Oh my God.
Well, we spent some time in Dodge City because the Harley let us down a couple times. Not the Spider. The Harley.
Don't say that to Larry. He's a dealer.
I know. The hydraulic clutch. We were up on top of Pikes Peak on our way. Larry, I'm talking about how the Harley let us down out last year.
Oh, you're kidding.
No, we were going up to Pikes Peak and Tommy lost his hydraulic clutch.
Yeah.
And
that's just like a slave cylinder. But that's why, I like a cable clutch.
Well, they went back to the cable, didn't they? I believe they
out on a couple of the bikes, couple, but not the ultra limited.
Oh, it's still. I thought he told me it was cable now, but on the newer ones, no. I don't know.
I just sell them.
You're
supposed to be the all-knowing one, Larry.
It's not very hard either. They just walk in and go, I really want a purple one. Okay, I got it.
But I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was just wondering. Go ahead, Larry.
Yeah.
Oh no, great. Go ahead.
No, I was just wondering price-wise. Motorcycles price-wise, where do they compare? To a Can-Am, and if you buy a Harley, are they about price the same, or is one more expensive?
People talk about how expensive the Can-Am is, but I don't really think it is compared to. I mean, I was at the dealership yesterday and looking at the new F3 Limited. I think it started at 23.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So I think, I'm thinking that's what I saw. You can get a Riker for 12,000 or 11,000.
Oh, I do not like them. I don't like them.
I rode one.
I mean, you can't go anywhere on it. I mean, it has no bags. You can't. No. It's the most minimalist, stripped down.
It really is.
With
that's why it's $12,000. I mean,
yeah, you're not. Yeah, but a lot of people like them. They have fun on them. There's no there's no shifting. It's just throttle and go with a Riker.
Automatic.
Yeah. Yeah. But and for maintenance, I'm gonna say it's comparable to Harley maintenance, maybe less. I don't know. An oil change. I don't know.
How big of a bike is that Can-Am, CC wise?
A 1330.
Okay.
1330. Yeah.
That's pretty good size, huh?
Well, that's
and
about
you know what?
That's about the size of the motor that. That's close to 1330. It would be like a 1340, which would be about a 80 cubic inch in a 94 Harley Softail.
Okay.
So that's what my motor is, about 1340.
Oh, okay. Well, it's quick too, because Tommy G will tell you I'm faster, but not only in the quarter mile. I can take him in the quarter mile because I can shift through those gears so fast without a clutch.
Well,
that's the only reason.
How fast have you had it?
Oh, there's Rick's question.
How fast have you had it, Jody?
I've had it up to 100. I know that's not really fast.
Well,
disclaimer: not on an open highway.
No, not on an open highway. That's
in Mexico, right?
Yeah, in my driveway. In my driveway, I had it, or a parking lot. Maybe it was a parking lot. I really can't remember where it was.
Yeah, and I'm sure the law of whatever is passed by now. The
statute of limitations.
Yeah,
that's it. Yep.
Thank God for that.
Guy, or he's doing like a seminar on his award-winning. I went from New York to San Diego and I beat the record. Blah blah blah.
Yeah.
Well, what he didn't tell you is he did it 2 years ago, and now he's talking about it because the statute of limitations are up.
Because charge them
you're
for
not
that?
going 60 miles an hour. Oh yeah, on the tickets.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
There was there's another, besides the Iron Butt Association and the Long Distance Riders Association, there's another organization called 1K in a Day. And I saw, and this was on Instagram, they posted it, the new record for 1,000 miles was 10 hours and some minutes. Can you imagine how fast?
That's 100 miles an hour.
Well, I want somebody to prove that to me, because I did 1187 and I did it pretty quick in about 18 hours.
Yeah.
1187 miles. So I'd say I'd call bullshit. I want to see it.
That's a lot.
I was just like, why are you bragging about that?
Like, you have to be on flat lanes.
Think about the average speed that you'd have to hold to do that.
Oh, sure. It's crazy. Wow. And there's you're breaking all kinds of laws doing that, right? I mean, where can you go that fast in the United States? They left, I believe it was like San Diego and went east.
There you go. I was going to say they had to be flat lanes.
Yeah.
San Diego to New York, probably.
No, it was.
I'd have to. You'd be hitting Oklahoma from San Diego.
Oh, yeah,
1,000 miles.
Yeah.
That's all flat, so that doesn't.
And then,
I guess that doesn't shock.
10 hours. That means your average speed is 100 miles an hour.
Yeah, that's crazy.
That's crazy. You know how hard it is to average 62 miles an hour.
Wow.
I do.
That's crazy.
You have to go about 80 miles an hour a lot.
Yeah.
For a lot of time just to hit 62 as an average.
I think our average for our Iron Butt was in the 50s.
Right.
It just was. That's just the way it was. Because of me, probably.
No. I'll bet you're on the front end of this thing and not the back end.
No.
We're running out of time. I wanted to give a shout out to your YouTube page again. Check her YouTube page out. She's got some videos on of her travels. So what is your YouTube page?
It's called Purple on 3, and spell out the number 3, Purple on 3. And I think I have close to 150 videos. I have playlists because I have like my how-to videos. I have our travel adventures. I have a whole series on Route 66.
Nice.
And some gear reviews. I have a review there on the body armor because I've been riding with it for 3 years, and that's all I wear. I love that.
Well, when you wear racing leathers, you can't just wear racing leathers, because the moment you sweat, you're not going to either get it off or get it on. So you wear something like Bond Under Armour. A lot of guys do, where it's it doesn't have any padding in it because you've got padding in your race uniform, but you wear it and it's skin tight, and it's wicking kind of thing, so you can pull that off at the top, because it's real hard to get off your shoulders, because it's almost like body fit, your racing leathers. It's not a baggy thing,
I wore one of those racing leathers. In 2021, I was given the opportunity at Superbike races in Pittsburgh, at Pittsburgh Motorsports. I got to ride 2 up with Chris Ulrich on the back of his GSXR 1000. And so we had to, they provided.
Did he scare you? Were you scared the way?
I was scared, but I also didn't like the signal was, if you wanted to go slower, you're supposed to elbow him. But I made up my mind I wasn't elbowing him. I was all in, and we were going.
You're hardcore here, Jody.
I was. I got off that bike, and I'm like, holy. Because I was like, holy poop. It was almost 100.
Remember that he's going at a pace that is 3/4 of what he can do, because he definitely doesn't want to wad up the bike with you on it. So he's going to be very cautious. The areas that he can open it up, like a straightaway or something, but when it starts to come into these bends and we're having to lean it over, and that he'll probably be at 3/4 of what he normally would do.
I would say like some of those turns were between 70 and 90 miles an hour. The turns, because if I would have put my hand down, we would have been touching the ground.
How about on the
straightaway? Well, they record it. I was up to 149.
Really?
Wow.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Like I said, and I wasn't.
And you weren't nudging at all, huh?
Nope. I was like, I'm not nudging. And my husband's like, and you make 2 laps. And he goes, did you see us wave? And I'm like, are you kidding? I was so disoriented out there. I had no idea where we were.
I would have peed myself.
Well, you always say you want to do that.
Yes, I do.
That's crazy.
Jody, that's on my bucket list. I want to go so fast. I don't care if somebody's driving or not. I want to pee myself.
You want to pee yourself? That's your.
Yes. And I don't know what the speed limit will be, but 149 on the motorcycle.
It was pretty.
I think that would do it.
Close. It was pretty close, but there's I have a video of it on my channel. We put together a video, so if you want to watch that and see my reaction,
check that out. Because like I said, tell you, Rick, every year it gets a little bit easier to pee yourself.
Let me just jump in real quick and invite you and your husband, because I think it's early May. I can't remember 9th or 10th, but it's early May. Newcastle Harley Davidson is sponsoring the Bagger Racing League, and that's where you're going to see the wars between Indian and
Harley.
And we're going to be at Pittsburgh. I'm inviting I've got a ton of friends coming to it. I want Rick and Greg to come to it.
When is that?
Invite us right now.
2-day events.
When is that, Larry?
I want to say it's May 9th and 10th, but it's May.
Oh, it's right around the corner then.
Is it during the week or the weekend? Because the 5th,
the weekend.
Okay, the 5th is a Friday, I think, because we have to be home by.
Maybe it's the 5th. It's either that weekend or the following weekend.
Or the following.
They kill me that I don't remember, but
the 6th and 7th is Saturday.
Our dealership is sponsoring it, and it's in conjunction with Bikes and Brews as well. We've heard of that.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
So it's going to be a gigantic 4-day weekend: Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
How far are you from Pittsburgh, Jody? You live in what?
Shippenville. So Shippenville.
Okay.
Yeah, we're only 80 miles, 85 miles.
That's not bad.
And the Harley dealer, for us to get to Newcastle Harley is I don't know, an hour, less than an hour.
Yeah, that's a straight shot too.
That's just
we hop on 80 down 79. Yeah.
How many miles you drive today? 300, you say?
Just 300 today. It was
just 300.
It was a short day.
You know what?
Skipping a jump.
Jody, I can't thank you and Tommy G enough. I know you're on vacation, but for you to break away and spend
I'm happy to do this. Thank you.
It's just the kind of person you are. When I first met you, your husband thought, I told him, I said, what do you think? I'm hitting on your wife? He thought this was a joke. And then he found out, oh, for real, she really is going to be on the air. He's like, oh, okay. So you guys are real special people. You're what makes motorcycling special. And I hope you have a wonderful vacation.
Thank you.
We'll see you guys when you come back, and we'll be at the Bagger Racing League in May. And we'll have a bunch of fun.
All right. That sounds wonderful.
You're very bubbly, Jody. You're fun to talk to. And,
Oh,
Yes,
thank
he
you,
is.
Rick. It was nice to meet you all.
You know, for if you want to check out our YouTube page, make sure you say your YouTube page one more time for our audience.
Purple on 3, because I love purple and I ride 3 wheels. Pretty easy to remember. Purple on 3.
Purple rain.
Make sure you check out the Armstrong Neighborhood channel for our street scene show, our Armstrong Street Scene Power Hour. Check out Buzzsprout on all your streaming media for the Armstrong Street Scene Power Hour. And make sure you attend the Armstrong Street Scene Car Custom Bike Show on July 23rd. And if you have any questions or comments, armstrongstreetscene@gmail.com. And I'm actually the one that actually looks at that. So there's no other, we're kind of a one-man band at this place. So for Larry Ward, Rick Guerrero, my name's Greg Rutten, and we will
see you down the road.